Today on Wood.Work.LIFE, we're remodeling a bathroom for my mother-in-law for Christmas. I guess this video is a little late. My mother-in-law has done so much for us this year. From picking up my oldest from school, to getting us out of a couple binds, to just really dropping whatever she's doing at the drop of a hat to help us out. And I really appreciate it. So when Home Depot approached me to do a sponsored bathroom remodel using the Delta Upstile system, I couldn't think of anyone more deserving than my mother-in-law, Ruth. So we don't have much time to waste. Let's get after it. All right, it's demo time. There are a few things you want to think about getting ready for a major bathroom remodel like this one. Here are my top 3. What problems are you going to try to solve, and what problems aren't you going to try to solve? The main problem I needed to solve was the positioning of the shower. The next is what should you do and what shouldn't you do? Not that you can't do anything. I mean, you can do whatever you want. What can you do reliably and within the time frame of the project? I personally don't feel comfortable doing plumbing, so I contracted that out. The next thing to think about is what permits and inspections do you need? Nothing's gonna put a damper on your project, like having to rip everything out, have it inspected, and do it again. Always get things inspected, it just saves you a lot of trouble in the long run. Okay, so while we're talking about getting ready, I tore out the entire old bathroom and disposed of all the evidence. Now that I have a blank slate comes the hard part. The most complicated part of this remodel, and the biggest problem I chose to solve, was rotating this tub 90 degrees and moving it out from the wall about 2 feet. Thankfully, my little brother, who also has never done any of this before, came over to help me out. This house was built in 1895 and not a thing in here is level or plumb, so I snapped a chalk line for reference. So snapping a chalk line for reference and sort of just making up your own straight line to work from has been a trick that I learned from working in old houses for a while. And if you don't feel like making things square and plumb, just pick a reference point and work from there. In this case, I attached a base plate to that straight line that I scribed, and then used that base plate as a reference to install the framing that I would then build with. Another difficult thing with the framing was the top of the wall where the roof line was actually bowing. If the This Old House guys were here, I'm sure they would have torn the roof off this place and put a new one on, but unfortunately, I don't have unlimited time and money. Next on my order of operations was getting all the drywall done that I could. I only had a few patches to take care of from the demo, then I had to mud and tape. Now, some of you guys may be awesome at mudding and taping, but I am not. My strategy when I do drywall is to put as much mud as I can possibly fit into a joint and then fix it with sanding. This is another thing I may have contracted out in retrospect. You can always tell a remodel done by a DIYer by the quality of the joints. This allowed me to do minimal masking and taping and not have to worry about messing up all the nice finishes. I primed all the walls with 1 coat of primer using this airless sprayer, and then I put on 1 coat of paint before moving on to the rest of the project. Once I had all the messy stuff done, I called in my plumber friend to do the rough-in and set the tub. This is totally something that I could have figured out given the time, but I had to get this done with inspections prior to the holidays, so I let a pro do it. Once the tub was installed, I was able to install the tub surround system from Delta. This system is called the Upstile system, and it's available for standalone showers and tub shower combos like this one. It's designed to be put in an alcove, like the one we just built. Most shower systems are designed to be put in an alcove, but this one has that subway tile look with a special spot to install some recessed decorative glass tile to give an easy-to-install pre-built tub surround that premium custom tiled look. It can also save you a bunch of money compared to hiring someone to actually tile your tub surround. I know, because I just had to pay for somebody to do that in my other bathroom model this year. The Upstile system is pretty easy to install. You simply screw in some furring strips to the framing on your alcove, and then attach the whole thing with screws and construction adhesive. Once the system was installed, it was on to tiling the floors and the tile insert. I started by laying cement board over the existing floorboards with a bed of mortar and cement board screws. This gave the floor a little more rigidity and structure to attach the tile to. This way you wouldn't have cracked grout lines. Once I laid the cement board down and the mortar was dry, I used that same mortar to then lay the tiles. To give these wood look tiles the appearance of real wood floor, I staggered the joints randomly.
I did this by cutting every other tile in my first course at a random length using a continuous diamond blade on my grinder to score each tile cleanly. In most wood-look tiles, you have to look out for repeats to avoid repeating patterns. But I didn't find a single repeat in the tile for this floor. I only used 6 boxes, but if I were doing a larger space, I would definitely have been more careful to avoid repeats. The 4-inch grinder worked great for the ceramic tiles, but I had to go to Home Depot and rent a wet saw for the glass tile. When you're using a wet saw on the tile, there are 2 important things to check. A is the flow rate of the pump to ensure that the blade's getting adequately cooled, and 2 is to make sure that you have a sharp, continuous diamond glass grit blade installed. Without that continuous grit and the actual glass blade, you can easily just burn and crack tiles. So when you're using a wet saw, missing either of these 2 details can lead to wasting a lot of tile and a lot of wasted time. Since the Delta Upstile system is made from a pro-acrylic material, it doesn't actually work with mortar, so you have to install these tiles using a silicone-based kitchen adhesive. Most of the people I've seen that have installed this system used mesh-backed glass tiles, but I wanted to continue the subway tile look, so I installed these 2 by 8.5-inch turquoise tiles to continue that subway tile look and to also bring in some of the color from the walls into the tub surround. Once the adhesive dries, like fully dries, for 24 to 48 hours, you can take out the spacers and you can start grouting. This is the same process as grouting any other tile, just work in the grout and wipe away the excess. After the grout dries for around 12 to 24 hours, you can come in and remove the haze from the grout with a wet sponge. One extra step when using the kitchen adhesive that you might find helpful was coming back through with a magic eraser and get rid of any of the residual silicone. That stuff can be really nasty. After the tub and surround was fully assembled, I finished up the drywall, leaving an 1/8-inch gap that I could come back and caulk. That way I could get a seamless transition between the tile and the drywall. And that's pretty much the hardest part of the bathroom remodel done. From there, it's all just finishes and minor plumbing. I went the easy but clean modern look for trimming out this bathroom with primed 1x4s. This way I didn't have to do any crazy miters or coping, which have been a nightmare in this old house. I installed the toilet with a press-fit wax ring and cast iron stack adapter. Changing out a toilet seems like a daunting task, but it's so easy. Next, I installed this awesome vanity, also from the Home Decorators collection on Home Depot's website. This vanity has 3 sets of dovetailed drawers with soft close hardware, and this was one of the main design challenges when I built the vanity I built for the other bathroom renovation I did this year. One of the things that I learned from this project working with Home Depot is just the depth of awesome stuff they have on their website that you're never going to see in a store. I mean, crazy custom solutions from premium finish parts. You can really deck out a space with custom looking stuff from Home Depot's website, with pricing in line from what you'd expect shopping at Home Depot. I've linked to all the products that I use in this project in the associated blog article on Home Depot's website. You can find that link pinned in the top comments and the description down below. Really cool stuff. Finally, with all the equipment installed, it was time to bring the tempered glass doors for this sliding barn door style hardware. I once had a bad experience with tempered glass. I don't want to talk about it, but I always keep glass out of a room until the very last minute. With everything installed, I had a little bit of painting left to do. Just finish painting up the trim, touching up the ceiling, touching up the walls. So now that I'm all done, let's bring in my mother-in-law and see what she thinks of it.
Okay, so I've been taking over your house for quite a while now, and there was quite a mess of tools in this room.
Yes, there was.
But we're finally done with the bathroom. Are you ready to check it out?
I am so ready.
Okay, let's see it.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Isn't it nice?
Look at this.
Compared to what it was. So yeah, brand new shower.
my.
I flipped it 90 degrees so that you wouldn't be bumping your head on the sloped ceiling, which is pretty nice.
So awesome.
Yeah, this is the Delta Upstile system with the tile inlay, so you with some turquoise tiles, which I think that's your daughter's favorite color, but it'll still look really good in this room. I went with a lot of plants. I know you liked a lot of house plants, so these are fake, but you feel free to replace them with your own house plants. I didn't want anything to die while I was working on the bathroom.
And then we have, this is Delta's nice faucet system here, and actually a Delta mirror as well. So all this stuff is from Home Depot. This is a really cool distressed oak vanity from Home Depot's designer series. It's really nice, gives you tons of storage. Do you remember before there was just those ugly cabinets down below here? So now you have
automatic closed drawers.
Oh, yeah, the automatic closed drawers.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
really nice. And then back here, I just did sort of a knick-knack shelf, just something you can put whatever you want on there. I put some cool stuff in there. You've got new towels that match the bathroom decor and everything. And then you have a soft closed toilet, just like the one in our house.
Oh.
Because, you know, you don't want the kids slamming their fingers in the toilet when they come over. So, yeah, everything turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it. Yeah.
Gorgeous. I think you did a great job.
You happy with it?
Cool, I like it.
All right, well, yeah. Merry Christmas, I guess.
Great.
I'm super happy with how this bathroom remodel has turned out. And it was great being able to do such a grand gesture for my mother-in-law. She's been so helpful this year, and it was just awesome. I really want to put more good back into the world this coming year. I've got a couple of really exciting Goodwill projects I have planned. So get subscribed, hit that bell, and stay tuned. I've got a lot more coming this year. And if you want to see more about this project, check the Home Depot blog post that's linked down in the description below, or check out Wood.Work.LIFE.com for more details, like the tools and techniques, you know, any of the specifics around this project or anything else. Also check out the vanity build that I did from the remodel earlier this year. That's going to be here at the link here at the end. And also this other video, which is apparently something that YouTube thinks you'll like. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep your tools sharp and keep your mind sharper.